this that I'm about to say is the most important. Share this video with everyone that you know, because it's very likely that someone that you know or someone that knows someone that you know is going through a gambling addiction, and something in this video really might help someone. And that's why I'm deciding to be so raw, open and honest about this, because I'm a professional, I have businesses. What I'm sharing could potentially damage my reputation. When you do an addiction, or when you have an addiction, you usually do it in the dark. You hide and do it.
Yeah.
So I'm being very open. I would really encourage you to share this video because it might help someone that you know or someone that they know.
Hi there, my name is Nathan and this is Welcome to the Human Experience. And today I'm joined by my best friend Vishal, and we're going to talk about his journey with gambling and, in a sense, his addiction and how he's trying to overcome it. So yeah, nice to see you again, bro.
Yes, good to see you too, brother.
Yeah, if you'd like to introduce yourself, because I know you, I've known you for years, since college, but just tell people that are watching that, you know, overseas and all that don't know you, a bit about your background first, just about who you are and that.
And we've been friends for 22 years.
22 years.
Wow, yeah, long time.
Yeah.
So my name is Vishal, award-winning author, international speaker, publisher, entrepreneur, 6-time severe mental health conqueror, and a recovering gambling addict. That's raw actually.
Which is a really recent thing, yeah?
Yeah, I've come off a really painful experience recently. And yeah, it's probably a really good time to do this interview. I wish it wasn't so raw, but hopefully this will help a lot of people. And I think your viewers should really interact, share this video, because gambling, from what I can see, is going to be a growing problem, a growing addiction. And more people are going to be affected, influenced, and manipulated by this addiction. And the craziest thing is, it's something that we do to ourselves where we feel like we're not in control. And we have to rein that in and take back control as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what you want to get across to help people. You want to help people, I want to help people. And yeah.
And I think with it being so raw, what I appreciate from yourself is, again, this feeds into a bit of your mental health, to say that you're so proactive in trying to overcome any challenges that you've faced, that you're willing to talk about it. In one way, it's going to help you kind of process it, but in another way, it's 100% going to be helpful for other people, either going through it or that know people that are going through it.
And that's the reason why I decided to open up about it, because with what I've done, I've come from a very difficult background, in the sense that I grew up not having very much. Life was quite tough and challenging. Even though I had very loving parents who wanted the best for me, life was very, very tough. And how, like, you know, a lot of my different challenges, I won't go into all of them, but having overcome them and then go on to create what I've created with my businesses and a certain level of success, there's also challenges with that.
Yeah.
And it's just a really difficult position to be in when you know you have so much to lose and you have this addiction.
Yeah.
It's
it takes over.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And the thing with gambling in particular, like any addiction, is that it can ruin you and other people around you. And that's the worst thing. And even if you know that and you're aware of that, it's so strong, you still do it.
Yeah, nice, yeah. Or not nice. Yeah, no, I get
it's
you.
It's not at all nice.
No. So I was going to go on to that straight away, actually, to say, let's go on this little journey and say, as far as the gambling and the addiction side, I just want to go to the beginning of that, if you can. Like, how did it all start? If you really look back, I mean, like, maybe it was teenage years or something a bit after that. When did it start? When has even gambling come into your kind of awareness?
I was 20 years of age. I'm now 38.
Yeah.
I used to lecture my friends and some of my cousins about gambling. Like, why are you doing it? It's stupid. And if they're hearing this interview, they're going to remember that and think, oh my God, that annoying little Vish, because I'm younger than most of them.
Yeah.
He used to gamble. He used to tell me not to gamble. He used to say, why are you lecturing me? And then one day, I thought, let me see what this whole thing is about.
Yeah.
Because I used to see them playing on fruit machines, but there was more to it, obviously. One day we went into the casino. I thought, let me be curious and see what it's about. So I put down 20 quid on blackjack was the game I was playing.
Okay.
And I played for quite some time. I can't remember vividly the whole thing, but all I remember was I won the first time.
Wow.
And I tell you what, if you go into a casino, if you actually go into a casino, and the first time you go in, you're probably thinking, why are you saying this? I hope you lose. I actually hope you lose, because it can start the addiction. When you win, that's what starts it. Because you think in your mind you can go in every time and do the same thing.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, it's not the case.
It gives you that false kind of sense of like, I can be winning here and I'm in control of that winning.
False sense of control. And it's not the case. So that is what started it.
Wow.
And then after that, I kept going to the casino and it became a pattern that I was choosing to go. And the majority of the time after that, I would lose. So what then happened was, at the time I didn't have much money, but it was still hard-earned money that I was giving away. And then that pattern of chasing your losses, chasing that feeling, chasing that addiction. And when I look at it, a part of it is trying to fill some kind of void as well as chasing the losses. So it's a combination of that.
Yeah. So just tell me, like, I've heard from, other people's stories that sometimes, you get the win, which feels great, but when you lose, you have this thing that we've spoke about off camera of saying you're kind of chasing your loss, which is even more kind of dangerous because, you're down, basically. So how was that for you?
In the beginning, when I was gambling in my early years, when I didn't have much money, it was so difficult because I didn't have much money. So my hard-earned money that I had was being given away by me to this casino. I didn't even need it. I needed it. They didn't need it. But that was the risk that I was willing to take. So I was going to the casino. At the time when I first started, it was 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds, 200 pounds maximum, that sort of range. Because that at the time to me was a lot of money. This is going back 18 odd years ago.
Okay.
And as I was doing that, it was just becoming a pattern. And then the amount I was losing was getting more and more and more. And then over a few years, it became thousands of pounds.
Wow.
And I remember sometimes I'd be in the casino for such a long time. I'd be there for hours, sometimes being there 12 hours. I was doing a longer shift than the people actually working there, and they were getting paid for it. I was losing.
Wow, so they were seeing you there for their whole shift. It was coming to an end. A new person was starting. And this, I guess, feeds into that whole thing of the casino environment. As it's famously said, there's no windows in the casino. You don't know if it's day or night. So what kind of times were you doing? Like into the early hours of the morning kind of thing?
Yeah, it would start at night.
Yeah.
And then it would go all night until early hours of the morning. And you're right, there's a lot of psychology that goes in the casino. And of course, over the years, I've looked into that because a gambler wants to do their best to reduce the odds, have a bit more awareness and understanding, especially in my case, about how they operate. And the house has the edge. So you're going into this game knowing that they have an edge, a higher percentage chance of winning over you, and what I mean by edge. And yet, I still did it knowing that. Actually, I'll be honest, at the time I didn't know that. It's more in the recent years.
You've really looked into it.
I started to look into it and understand it. So they don't have clocks. so that you're not aware of the time. They put the cashier desk usually as far away from the entrance as possible, because then you have to walk past all the games and the machines and all of those things before you cash out your money to go home.
Yeah.
When you take out your money, you have to walk past all these tables and machines. So the temptation's there to want to play again.
Yeah, you're seeing
And
it
very
all, yeah.
often, some people get caught up in that trap where they will give all their money back that they won because they couldn't leave.
Wow.
And so they do everything in their power to not make you leave. It's a crazy business.
It's a nice environment as well, yeah? Like, you're getting waited on.
You could say that. You could say that.
Yeah.
But there's parts of it that are not. Like, sometimes they make the carpet not so nice. They create the environment so you don't look up very much. You're just focused on the table, the lighting,
got you. No distractions.
the music. There's so many things.
Yeah.
The waiters, obviously, friendly dealers.
Yeah.
It can become a very nice atmosphere in some senses, but in other senses, the whole thing is created in a way to help them get as much money as possible from you.
Yeah.
Of course, you have a choice.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of things which subconsciously tie you into the game. This is a whole journey where things started small.
Yes.
And then there was periods of time of sobriety.
Yes.
Because gambling is like a drug or alcohol. It's similar. And then there's been periods of binge gambling. So I'll quickly take you through the journey. In the beginning, it was compulsive gambling, like regular, consistent, compulsive gambling, where you're just gambling and you're chasing losses. And I was just stuck in that cycle, just doing it again, multiple times a week, locally.
Yes.
And then after 4 years, I knew it wasn't good for me, but I just got to a point where I was fed up. I'd lost, I don't know the exact amount, but must have been, I can't give an exact figure, but let's say somewhere between 20 and 40,000 pounds. Let's say that in 4 years.
In 4 years.
Something like that.
Yeah. And it's all relative, yeah, because someone could lose more, but they have more money in the bank. Someone could lose that much and actually be in severe debt.
Yeah,
you know, like loans and everything.
Thankfully, I wasn't in debt.
Yeah.
But there was a point, and I feel so ashamed to say this, is that gambling can do things to you that are not usually who you are. So in that period from 20 to 24, I remember my dad had a business that was failing, and he was in a lot of debt. And I remember I was helping at that business, and I was so addicted, I went into the till and I stole, I think it was 30 or 40 pounds, and there wasn't much money in there. I stole the notes that when there's a bit of change, but I stole that money to go and gamble. And that's when I knew there was a major problem. I told my dad after, and he was ashamed, and he told me off a little bit, but he didn't say very much, surprisingly. So I'd realized that this was becoming a serious problem. So what I did was I banned myself from the casino, and I realized that this was not good for me. And I remember walking into the casino. I played. I think I won some money from what I recall. And I banned myself. And just tell them, like, for the viewers, how did you do that? Because that will help. That will help. That's a great question. And I understand if you've got that as a pattern, as a habit where you're constantly gambling, it's so ingrained in you, it's almost scary to leave it. But I'm telling you, it can be one of the best things you ever do, as hard as it is. You really have to have a lot of courage and say, do I want to continue this pattern and ruin my life? Or do I want to really create a stop in place so I don't do it anymore? You go to the casino, you adamantly say, I want to ban myself from gambling. And there are levels to it. And you can do it at your local casino, you can do it nationally, you can do it online. There's so many different levels to it. There's something called sense. And what sense does is it bans you from every legalized casino in the country, and you can do that in multiple countries.
Wow. Okay.
But in England, it's called cents. So you can ban yourself. So nationally, you can't go into a casino.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I didn't do that initially. I just banned myself at a local casino. Then I went to another local casino, realized it's still there. It's on my doorstep. I banned myself from that.
Yeah.
I also used to play poker from time to time. Now, here's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
I don't drink alcohol.
No.
I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do any illegal drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't vape.
You're not even a big spender of like material.
Yeah, I'm not a very material person.
Yeah.
I've never paid money to a woman to have sex with her directly. Like prostitution and escort. I've never done that. The biggest vice for me has been gambling. And I'm not, like you said, I'm not very material.
Yeah.
So it's so strange.
Yeah.
I do enjoy making money, helping people, but this is so against me because when I'm gambling, I'm not really helping, but I'm helping the casino make money for me. And they're the last people I actually want to help.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I think, to be fair to you there, that just shows how much of a control, and even in the science, they will say that it's even more chemical, and like your brain network is changing when you develop these bad habits. So much like to develop a good habit, you need so many weeks of doing something. When you've done so many weeks of that initial, I think 4 years where you was so consistent in doing it, you've built up this pathway of kind of, they call it the dopamine, but I mean, even like a pathway of like running up to going, you're building up this excitement inside, and it's almost like a chemical thing. Yeah, that your brain just can't help it. Logic goes out of the window, and you're almost like walking like a zombie to this place, knowing in the back of your mind, your subconscious, that it's wrong, but that your mind is just saying like, I need to go.
And that's the addiction.
Yeah.
That's the addiction. So going back to the gambling and the journey briefly, for the next 3 years, from 24 to 27, I was gambling out of town. I would go to different cities, just a couple like Nottingham, Coventry, and I realized I was still in that pattern. I wasn't going as much, but I was still going.
Yeah, you made it a bit more difficult, but if you made the effort, you'd get there.
And I realized after 3 years of doing that, I'd still lost tens of thousands of pounds. So it wasn't any better. It was starting to become, instead of a consistent daily thing or multiple times a week, it might have been once or twice a week. And after 3 years of doing that and losing a lot of money, I realized I didn't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I enrolled, it was in Nottingham at the casino Elia, it was called, I remember it. I went on cents, which is a national ban. And I banned myself from all forms of gambling in a casino. During those 7 years, I also had little periods of gambling online where I did lose thousands of pounds, but it just didn't feel as good as going into a casino, speaking to people, because you make some friends in that environment. You meet some nice people. And so I wasn't very much into the online gambling scene, but there's also ways to ban yourself from online gambling. And I would say online gambling can be even worse because it's at your fingertips. It's just constantly there. You can do it all the time. I've heard stories of people gambling at work on their breaks, and it's even worse when it's online. It's just as bad, but it's even
easy
worse.
to access, and any downtime you can just do it.
Anytime. So I banned myself nationally at 27. And again, I didn't have any help. I just did it because thankfully I had some level of understanding this is not good for me. Even though I did it for many years. Over those 11 years, I gambled maybe 5 or 6 times, I would say, in a casino abroad. And I still lost tens of thousands because I did the odd binge. But
so
thankfully,
you found it was less often, but to make up for the less often, it was a bigger amount. So
yeah, because I had
in
more
one
money.
sitting. Yeah,
I had more money, and I didn't want to unban myself in England because I knew it wasn't good for me to have my doorstep.
Yeah, yeah.
And my businesses were doing so well because I wasn't gambling. I focused on growing my.
Yeah, so that's the counter as well. When you stop gambling, or I'd say for any addiction, especially drugs or drink, it's not just what you're doing, what is bad. It's what's it taking you away from. And you did. I seen the most success from you, not correlating it with that. Now you've just said that with the gambling addiction, that, yeah, when I don't spend time doing that, I'm super productive and successful in all the other aspects of my life.
Yeah, and I was actually making the money. I was helping people, making a difference.
Yeah.
So it was great. So
what snapped you back then? That's going to be the question for people watching now.
In those 11 years, those 5-6 times that I gambled, even if I lost, say, 30, 40,000 in those 11 years, let's say, seemed like a lot of money, but because I was making so much, it wasn't nice, but I recovered very quickly. Like, it wasn't an issue. Because in those 11 years, I must have made millions of pounds really helping people. So it wasn't an issue. And then this year in 2025, is when things started to go downhill again. Well,
so what was the gap there? What was the gap? Sorry to that.
So it was 11 years where I only gambled 5-6 times abroad. And then this year in 2025, in January, one of my good friends, he had his 40th birthday and we were going to Vegas. And I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm thinking there's some rational thought here. I'm not going to take my cards. I'm just going to take a certain amount of cash. And it was a roller coaster. It was up and down. And at one point, I won so much money. It was about $20,000. They called out someone who's called a host. And a host is someone that gives you all the perks. They roll out the red carpet. They say, we'll give you free drinks. We will give you free meals. Free accommodation, lots of free things. And the purpose of it, and I understood the purpose of it was to make you feel really good, feel like you're getting lots of benefits so that you'll gamble more and give them money back. And at that moment, I felt so good. I felt like my ego was up here. I felt like I was winning. Anyone would. True, and I'm someone who loves to help people and give. So there was 7 of us. I said, hey guys, I've got this host. I've learned about it. It's amazing. I felt so good. I'm going to give everyone a great trip. Again, it's an ego boost, as well as a nice thing of wanting to help. So I pulled them over. The host was there, such a nice guy. And that's their job. But he seemed like a really nice guy. He let us have drinks. I remember my cousin. I said, get what you want, man. Let's just enjoy it. And I was saying it in front of the host. I enjoy it. And he got this shot of alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, but I wanted them to enjoy, you know? He got this shot of alcohol. It's literally this much. And it was maybe $70 for the shot of alcohol. And it was very high quality. And I think he had a couple of them. And I just felt so good because I'm helping experience that, and I'm helping the people I'm with have a great experience as well. And we had $2,000 worth of meals. So I took them to a really nice restaurant, and we took a couple of other people along as well. Some nice ladies, we took them along just in a nice way. And then we went to a Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, Nobu, and then Gordon Ramsay. $2,000 worth of meals covered by the casino. Anyway, I had this massive win. An hour later, I lost it. There's $20,000 in an hour gone like that. It was crazy. It was crazy. I won't go into all the stories, but I'll give you some examples. And I felt terrible at that. I lost all my money. I then, even though I didn't get cards, I transferred money to my cousin. He took the money out. I lost $8,000 in 20 minutes. And then at the end,
because now you're chasing,
I'm chasing. I'm in. So I'm $2,000 left. Somehow on the last day, I turned down to $35,000. I ended up leaving a winner, and that started fueling me to want to gamble more.
Because then you come back home when you said you left.
Yes.
You actually come back home after that.
I didn't gamble
Yeah.
in England.
Yeah.
A few months later, now I know I've got these perks in Vegas.
Yeah.
I thought, let me be smart about this and do
Yeah.
business events.
Yeah.
So I did the business events. But then I had all this cash, $35,000. In 12 hours, lost it all. I felt so bad.
Wow.
I went to a Gamblers Anonymous meeting
Yeah.
in Vegas. Imagine that. I'm in Sin
I didn't
City.
even know that existed.
I went to a gambler.
Wow.
Yeah, well, over in Vegas, because it's such a big problem.
Yeah, yeah.
People losing their lives to it.
Yeah.
There's loads of Gamblers Anonymous and
Wow.
AA.
But it's such a
Alcoholics
counter, because on the one
Narcotics.
hand, you're getting all this kind of push for you to encourage you to do it, all the perks. And then on the flip side, down the road, I don't know where it was, this meeting, but you've got the support network for the repercussions. Do you know what I mean? It sounds weird. It sounds like it's two worlds in one place. And what did they say to you, sorry, in them meetings then? What was the thing? You've come in with this, probably they've heard this story before.
I was in this
I'm on
meeting.
a big loss. Yeah.
I felt like crying.
Yeah.
That's how powerful the meeting was, because I was on such a low and it was so powerful. I could relate to people and it was such a nice experience. They gave me the
I was going to
booklets
say that
and
really
things.
helped, yeah?
It really
in
helped.
In a sense.
So for the next 2 days, I didn't gamble.
Nice.
But the pull was so strong. I'm in this environment,
yeah,
okay?
wow. So you're there
So
still.
I called
yeah.
someone,
Yeah.
this lady friend who I knew, and I only met her twice. And I asked her to bring $30,000 for me. And I would give her the money because I had it. It's not a problem. I showed her. And she actually did. And she is so bad. I feel so bad. She left the kids on Mother's Day in the evening after spending some time to come to me, brought me the money. I can't believe I'm even saying this.
But this is the levels it gets to.
But this
That's
is why I'm being so honest. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it may help someone, and it's can become such a dark thing. Anyway, she brought the money. I had this nice suite. I had all these free meals. There's free show. There's all these wonderful perks. And of course, if you're really smart, you can use that in an advantageous way. But you've got to gamble big.
Yeah.
So it was up and down, up and down. I'd lost all the winnings I'd made with the initial bit of money she gave, but I still had the $30,000 she gave, because she gave me some of the money. I'd turned it into a lot of winnings, almost got the money back, lost it all. And then I got to a point where she said, look, I'm leaving. I'm taking the money with me, because she could see she was upset by it. It really affected her.
Yeah, because she's not used to this.
And I felt so bad. I remember she was sitting at the
environment.
table, I'm gambling thousands, and she's getting anxiety. She had to leave.
Yeah.
I felt so bad because I saw she was crying.
But which shows how
It can affect.
normalized you've got with this situation.
I was disassociated,
Yeah.
disconnected. But gambling not only affects you, it affects the people around you. And that's the really difficult part, is you're hurting other people.
So she left. Did that change your mindset in any way?
So I
or
said
you
to
just-
her, you leave the 30,000, not 10, or take it all. Because I'm a bit like that, all in or all out.
Yeah.
She left, not being happy. She left the money, and I was transferring her anyway. I went down, I played with $10,000. I kept the other 20,000 in pocket. I would have done it all. But to my luck, somehow I kept a bit of control, turned that $10,000 into $60,000 in 1 hour.
Wow.
I left. I somehow actually got up and left. So in my 2 trips in Vegas, and I remember sitting with someone afterwards at the sports bar, just having a ginger ale.
Yeah.
And I said, this is what happened. He's like, you seem so content. I said, yeah, and I don't want to gamble more. He's like, listen, stay that way. You're flying out later today. Just leave. And I said, that's my plan.
Yeah.
So I left a winner. In my 2 trips in Vegas, I'd won a fair amount of money.
Yeah.
So that's now got me on a bit of a high, thinking over my life, I must have lost 60, 70,000 pounds. I've got $25,000 back. So I've only got another 50 odd thousand to go, and I'll be
still
fine.
thinking of that. Yeah.
So a month later, this is in May this year, a month later, I'm in Barcelona. I've gone early, knowing I'm going to gamble. I'm at Girona, which is a few hours away from Barcelona. Spent the night, gambled, spent 90 euros to go to the casino. I ended up losing a few hundred euros. came back. Next day, I went to Barcelona.
Yeah.
So I'm gambling hundreds, thousands, and then I take a train, which was 10 euros or something, 2 hours to go to Barcelona. What I'm saying here is that I would try and be so cheap with certain things.
Yeah.
Yet I would gamble so much, and I'm not a very material person.
Yeah.
So I went to Barcelona. I'm in the casino. I'm supposed to go to this wedding. And I'm not told anyone, because you do things where you're hiding.
Yeah.
You hide the addiction. That's when you know it's not good.
Yeah.
So I'm in the casino in Barcelona. And I've told my family I'm just in Barcelona, not told them what I'm doing. I'm in the casino. I've got a few thousand euros with me, about 8,000 euros, because clients paid me in that money.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm being so open and honest about it, but I'm hoping it will really help.
Yeah, this is the levels it gets to. And even with you saying that, I know you're saying what you've got to, but we all know there'll be people out there that relate. They've ruined their whole family's life.
And I'm going to get to that.
Having to sell houses and go into loans and all this kind of thing.
I'm saying like, oh, things are turning around, but wait until you hear this.
Yeah, so you've got that 7,000 euros.
I've lost 4,000. I'm still playing. And then I've changed tables. I've started to win. I ended up leaving after about 7-8 hours. I've turned a few thousand euros into 34,000 euros. And I got to a point where I actually left. They took me into this room. They gave me all these perks of VIP, and they were flashing things. I will bring you to Barcelona games and all that. And maybe we'll put you up in a hotel. So I took all this money, and I was on such a high. I took a taxi from the casino to the wedding.
Yeah.
I've won all this money.
Yeah. Did you tip the driver?
No, I didn't. And I'll tell you what happened. The driver, they're a bit, sometimes there's a bit dodgy anyway. There was a toll that came up, and he told me it's going to be about 80 euros, 85 euros approximately. When we got there, he said, oh, it's 100 euros. So I was annoyed that, because it was the principle, like, you told me it's going to be this, and then you're telling me that there's no meter.
You would have known, yeah.
So then I gave him the money, and I knew that he was just being a bit funny, and I didn't like that. I really disliked that. I'd rather have tipped him off my own back, but I felt bad about that, because you've told me a certain price, and then you've asked me for more.
Yeah.
So
but that just shows how rational you are in a normal situation of, you don't want to be ripped off, but I'm happy to give the casino all this money again.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got.
I've won. I'm winning quite a bit now.
Yeah.
So the first time in my life, I've got this amount of cash with me, where I'm going to show my dad. I showed my dad, and my dad couldn't believe he'd never seen that much money in his life. Before I left the wedding, I gave amount of money to my dad, so I knew I was going to be out. I kept some with me because I was staying extra. I knew I was going to gamble. I was into it. And now I've got this false sense of control. And actually, I didn't recognize it's bad. That's the worst thing. I'm winning. I'm on a winning streak. So I didn't know at that point.
Only looking back, sorry.
I thought this is good. I've given money, but I'm winning. So I've gone to the casino. Over the next couple of days, I've had more big wins. I've turned a few thousand euros into another 40,000 euros.
Wow.
So now,
crazy. On
the trip, I'm about 64,000 euros up.
Crazy. And I love how you know all the numbers, because you know what's going on.
But now I've calculated in my life, everything I've lost, I've won back this year.
You're even now.
I'm even. I might have even been a little bit up, like 1,000 or something. I rang you. Do you remember at night? I rang you saying, Nathan, I've got even. I was like on a high.
Which is normal. Again, that's normal.
I'm by myself. I'm by myself. Okay. I'm texting my cousin, a few gambling people I know, come over, I'm going to get a hotel. However, what I realized is the casino weren't living up to their word in Barcelona. They didn't, like in Vegas, they actually have a level of integrity. They do what they say. In Barcelona, they weren't doing what they said. They weren't really giving me VIP treatment. The only thing I was getting is an odd free, I didn't drink alcohol. They would have given alcohol, but the non-alcoholic drink and the odd meal I was having. They were doing that, but that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gambling tens of thousands. That's all they were doing.
Yeah.
No free hotel like they said they probably would. Anyway, the next day I've gone in, I've took some money, lost it all. 10,000 euros. Gone back to my apartment, paid for the taxi there and back, lost another 10,000. I did get it back, but I lost it. And it felt so rigged at that point because I had two good hands. I've got 2,000 euros on the hand. I've got two 20s. Dealer's got a 7. I don't want to go into too much, but two 20s against a 7, you're thinking, I'm good here. I should be good. This will bring me back to winning again. Guess what? The dealer gets a 21.
Wow.
I lost. And that's brought me on a downward spiral. I kept gambling, like trying to chase it back. I ended up losing over 22,000 euros that day.
But you're still up.
I'm still up. I'm still up. I've left the building, and as I'm leaving, the manager's there. All day they were watching me because they know I'm on a winning streak. So they know there's stuff going. The managers watch me leave. So something's going on. I'm sitting outside feeling depressed, and I'm still up on the year.
But you just
this
annoyed
old
at yourself,
man
like,
came out to me. Like I started making friends there. Old man, he didn't speak English. Came out to me and said, "Oh, Vishal." On Google Translate.
Oh, okay,
Look, cut a long story short, because we spoke for 15, 20 I was feeling so bad. And I'm winning overall. He was saying, look, you're a young man. You're very handsome. You seem like such a nice guy. You're well dressed. And I'm telling you, I have ruined my life gambling.
Wow.
I've lost everything to this casino. These machines are rigged. They're machines. They're rigged. I'm telling you, they're programmed. And when he was saying that, I was like, I understand what he's saying. I can feel it. And
he can relate. He's been there.
He gave me his number. He said, look, if you ever want to talk, my wife speaks English. So nice of him. However, that wasn't enough to stop me.
You went back. Good.
The next day, what I did was, I took some of the money, and luckily my uncle and aunt were there, 2 of them. I bought us a nice meal because I was still up, I felt really good. I gave them a certain amount of money, take more back. So I know overall on the trip, I'm going to be nicely
up. A little bit of a safety net,
I went back, I lost all of that. But now I'm feeling hooked. Like I'm trying to get more money out. I'm not in control. Luckily, I didn't have my cards. I'm trying to get my phone, and I'm like, I'd lost control.
Even it's good that you recognise that after,
When I got back home to England, I felt so bad, even though I was about 30,000 euros up, $25,000 up in Vegas. I was even. I was good. I've given it, but I felt so bad. Like really bad.
So you kind of beating yourself up. Even though you was up, it's just what you could have had. But my thing is talking more, I'm not saying I'm talking more rationally, I'm talking more away from the situation, which we spoke about off camera again, is that in my mind, there's no limit to what you want to win. So like, it's a bit of a losing game in itself. If there's no strategy of I get to this amount and I stop, then the law of averages says once you get to what amount, you're just going to go back down because you've not set a boundary. Do you know what I mean? Which even that doesn't help because you could lose on the way to that. You could aim for something and still not get there. But because there's no goal, to me, it just seems from the outside, it's bound to happen. You're going to lose because you had your good streak. There's only one way it's going to go after that. Now, so tell me how you feel as well then. So you said that. How do you feel with the big wins compared to the big losses?
Oh my God, the big wins are amazing.
You
feel so good, euphoria, you feel on a high, feel like you're unstoppable, invincible. And it passes, but in the moment you feel good. And you want to do things for people, and it's such a strange thing. It's a strange...
It's like scoring a goal, I imagine.
Yeah, it's a high. All these chemicals, the dopamine, you get that hit, the adrenaline, all of that. The feel-good hormones. So now, I've always been someone who gives back. And every Friday, I go to the local hospital and I volunteer. I've been doing that the whole year. That's the thing I've been doing this year. I decided I was going to do. And I remember sometimes I was at the hospital and I was feeling so bad, even though I was winning money. I felt so bad for losing this money I'd won. And I'd be there with patients. That gave me a little bit of a distraction for a while. But I remember occasionally it'd still come up and I'd have some really interesting conversation. But yet sometimes I felt so bad. Now I'm thinking about gambling more. So what have I gone and done now? I unbanned myself after 11 years in England.
Wow.
In my local city.
Wow.
I started gambling there. The first time I went in,
Yeah.
I won so much money, but I didn't walk away. So I didn't win. Felt really bad.
Yeah.
I capped myself though, because they did a affordability test. I told them this is my cap and they wouldn't let me go over. But I was winning so much and then it just turned. It was weird. So then I started gambling more locally. I was going to Nottingham and gambling in Nottingham. And I just realized that I'd lost all this money I'd won in Barcelona. I'd lost most of it. Now I'm only about $30,000 and a few thousand euros up. I realized over this couple of weeks, I've just lost so much money.
Yeah.
So I've said, I've got too much to lose. I don't want to start losing my own money again. I banned myself from those casinos again, went on cents.
Yeah, nice.
As long as possible. And then I started playing private poker games because that was something I wanted to do. I won a bit of money in a private poker game. And then I went to a big private poker game, ended up losing like 15,000, 16,000 pounds.
Wow.
Now everything I'd won in Vegas, that's almost gone.
Yeah.
So now I'm back to almost square even.
Yeah.
Played a few poker games, lost a bit of money. And then I remember I was watching people gambling. Even people around me. And again, it's not their fault. It's just that's a trigger for me. When I saw that, I started gambling online and I hate online gambling. Always have.
Yeah.
I ended up for 5 days, I lost £28,500
Online.
on my own money because I was about even at this point.
Wow.
And then I went to a private poker game, lost £7,000 of that. So I'm about £36,500 down of my own money.
And tell me, what's the thought? What's the feeling
It's
then?
horrible. It's so bad.
You're beating yourself up, yeah?
I've gone on GamStop to ban myself from all gambling online. I've cut myself out of all these poker groups. I've got GamCare, which is a weekly support session where you get professional help. And I've started doing a little bit of Gamblers Anonymous, again, online.
Yeah.
And
what does that give you? Again, for the people that are considering this and they're like, oh, that's not for me. I've got a problem, but I don't need them groups. They're people that have done it for a lifetime. How do you feel? What does it do?
It gives you support.
Give you awareness?
It gives you I think I have the awareness, but I still couldn't stop myself. I needed additional support.
Yeah.
So they give you the support, they give you the resources, you have online meetings, in-person meetings. You can get something called a sponsor, which is someone who holds you accountable, someone who's been there, done it, maybe still doing it, going through the process of recovery. And there's so much support out there if you're really willing.
Yeah.
Whether it's gambling, whether it's alcohol, whether it's narcotics, illegal drugs. There's all kinds of support. You just have to be willing to get the support.
Yeah.
And then you have to be willing to take the action, the steps. They have a 12-step program. It's like a famous thing. And it's supposed to help people in recovery.
Yeah.
So I've gone through these recovery steps and I had gone 6 weeks clean, no gambling. I'd then gone out to Spain and I could see right there, even before I've gone out to Spain, I've looked to see if there's a casino there. So in my mind, deep down,
you're preempting.
I'm preempting that. First few days I didn't gamble.
Yeah.
And I've taken my cards with me as well. So I'm in a danger zone here, knowing I've got my cards. Normally I don't take my cards.
Yeah.
That feeling 6 weeks ago is gone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And that's a lot.
Faded.
It's a lot of money. It was a certain amount of my accessible savings. So now I'm thinking, okay, let me go. I'll go with a small limit.
Yeah.
I started playing.
pattern.
I'm playing blackjack and poker. They're my games. I've won a bit of money playing with the winnings on poker. lost a little bit, but still up. Gone back on blackjack, one more. I'm about 4,500 euros up. Thinking, oh yeah, it's 36 odd grand down of my own money. I can maybe get it back.
Yeah.
Lost a little bit, left a winner the first night because they closed.
Ah.
So I couldn't control myself.
Yeah.
Next day I've gone in. Lost everything I had the day before. Started getting more money out. I'm £12,000 of my own money down. In euros, maybe 14,000. Thinking I feel sick, I feel horrible. Next day, I've gone in and said I'm going to have a limit. My limit was still quite high. I lost about 7,000. So I've lost about 18,000 pounds in 2 days.
Wow.
I felt so bad.
Yeah.
I'm on holiday.
Yeah.
I've gone to a Gamblers Anonymous meeting online early hours of the morning. And I just felt terrible, man. Terrible. I'm like 55,000 pounds down on the year when I was even this year. I'd done the miracle, really.
Yeah.
Didn't gamble the next day. Felt a little bit better. I'm on my last day of my holiday. Thinking, I'm not going to gamble and stay away.
Yeah.
Vishal, just go in.
And I had a conversation with you.
You had a conversation with me. And I said, help me, like, keep me accountable. And I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay?
I said, we had a plan for you that night.
Now, I'm alone. I'm vulnerable. I put myself in that position. And I go to the casino. Here we go.
Boy, last night,
I'm going to have a certain limit. I don't stick to the limit. I'm losing.
Wow.
I am about 14,000 pounds in.
Wow.
I've dug a really deep hole.
Yeah.
I got 3,000 euros out. I'm like, I need a miracle.
Yeah.
I'm telling the guys on the table, I need a miracle. I'm about 40,000 euros down. I need a miracle. About $38,000 euros down. I start winning. I'm betting 4,000 euros on maximum on the boxes, 2, 3, 4 boxes.
Oh, okay.
I'm winning a lot. I start winning. I go on a streak. Everyone's cheering for me, and now there's a crowd built up. Like there's random people. There's like 10 to 20 people watching the table as well as the players.
Yeah.
We're all celebrating.
Yeah.
I'm not celebrating too much because I'm just so into it.
Yeah.
Celebrating a little bit, like yeah. But these guys are celebrating like crazy.
They don't know the backstory, They don't know the backstory,
At one point, I had 57,000 euros. So I turned 3,000 euros into 57,000 euros. I am euphoric. I'm thinking in my head, I got the miracle.
Yeah.
There's loads of signs. One of the guys like this, like the cameras are watching, like, and I'm like, it's fine, I'm still winning.
Yeah. And all these chips are in front of you.
All these chips. There's a guy there saying, what's your goal, man? What's your goal? One guy said, you asked for a miracle, you got the miracle.
Yeah.
So I'm not listening, I'm in a zone here.
Wow.
Now here's what starts happening. They change the dealer. They change the person observing. They change the table. There's one manager walking up and down.
Yeah.
And I've seen this sort of thing before. Couldn't leave. They call someone to get me a drink. They start using all these strategies to distract you. The person's instructing the dealer what to do with giving me change. They weren't doing that before.
Wow.
This is on reflection after.
Yeah.
The pit boss, like the person who's in charge, comes round and he says, what's this? Like trying to show there's an error. Touches the cards, like moves the cards. And then there's all sorts of weird things. Even the players are like, what's that? They're like, what are they doing? That's when I should have left.
Yeah. But you're ignoring all of that.
I'm aware of it, but I'm like, just like, I'm aware it's going on, but for some reason I'm not left. The money starts going down. And I'm like, okay, I've still got 50,000 euros here. I'm up. This is great.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
So I didn't leave. I'm sipping on this hot chocolate and I'm feeling some weird sensations in my body, like something's not right. I didn't leave. I didn't use it as a cue. Carried on playing, I'm losing. Like everything's turning. The hands are going bad. It just turned. they know what's going on.
Yeah.
The casinos know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know they keep you there long enough, you're going to lose it.
The odds.
Even if
the
machines are rigged, because you think they're rigged, they might be, they might not be.
Yeah.
But it's not the point. The point is that
they'll allow you to win, but they're more likely going to allow you to go down.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to know when to leave, and I didn't know when to leave.
Yeah.
I ended up losing all of it. But you know the worst thing?
Yeah.
Carried on going back to get more money.
No.
I went and got more money.
Wow.
I ended up being about £24,000 down. The total I lost on that trip was almost £42,000 in 4 days.
Wow.
I have never lost that much money in my life.
And I know a lot of the viewers are going to be like, that is over someone's yearly wage.
More than that might be someone's life savings, or more than that.
Yeah.
And I felt so sick. I felt so bad. That night, I just felt so annoyed with myself because I'd asked for the miracle. I got the miracle and I still didn't leave.
And there were so many signs with the people around you because they're not as invested. So they're telling you how they see it.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, I wish someone shook me. I wish I just walked away. I wish I asked ChatGPT. I wish I did. There's all the regret filling in. I felt so bad.
Wow.
That night, I was flying out for 6-7 hours later. I didn't sleep. I felt so annoyed with myself. And I'm quite a calm person, but I remember I couldn't sleep because I was replaying all the situations, and I literally got out of bed and I started punching the bed. That's how, and I've never done that in my life.
You had to let it out.
I had to let it out. I felt so bad. Like it was, gambling makes you lose yourself. That's how bad it is. And so after that,
you've come home.
I came home. I felt on the flight home, I felt so bad. I have severe mental health conditions, episodes of severe mental health, and I could just feel some of the anxiety bubbling up. I had a few thoughts of suicide. And here's the thing.
But this would be normal for someone to go through such a massive loss anyway, besides your mental health.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Now, here's the thing. I'm still in a very good position. I have my businesses. I have my investments. I still have a fair amount of savings. Life is still overall very good. I remember my friend recently said to me, I started a WhatsApp group with you and another friend of mine. He reminded me, and I know that anyway, but he put it in words, people would kill to be in your position. And if you don't stop, you're going to either lose it all. You either have to lose it all to realize, or you've got to stop. And I knew that. I knew what he was saying. And I've been conversing with ChatGPT and AI, and I'm not a massive fan of AI. But it can be a good learning tool if you use it as a tool and not to do everything for you. So I wanted to discuss it and understand what was going on. And it explained about the chemicals. And we can talk more about that in a moment if you want. So I told my assistant who's off this week, I told a few of people, I created a WhatsApp group for support with you and another friend. I've started putting things in place. I've put a ban. I've asked to ban myself from all casinos in Spain because that's a trigger traveling. I've started going to daily Gamblers Anonymous meetings the last few days because this is only 5 days ago. And I've now got a sponsor, someone to help me. And I'm taking the steps because gambling can ruin a person's life. And I've heard stories about, I know the thing. I've gone back and binge gambled in my case. I've got a binge gambling problem. What's triggered it? Because that's probably a question we could ask. Being alone, chasing the feelings, chasing the high, chasing losses. Feeling that euphoric feeling. And what I've realized is that when I'm in it, I can't see out of it. I'm not in control because my brain is hijacked It's not me, it's the addiction.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I couldn't leave on that night. I've been able to leave in the past, but that night, for some reason, I just couldn't leave.
Yeah. And one way I like to put that, to put in there, just to say though, with your addiction side is, we're talking about this as like that feeling you said, the euphoria, but also the low and then chasing. That to me perfectly describes addiction. Do you get what I mean? So we could be talking about women, we could be talking about, like you say, illegal drugs, and even on a more subtle level, food. People saying that, okay, I've ate, but I want more. So you think where you've had a meal and there's more on the plate and you have the self-control to say, no, I'm not going to eat that pudding, or I'm not going to eat that last bit of pizza, even though I've ate most of the pizza. Not many of us have that self-control because, like you're saying there, it's deeper than that. It's like an imbalance that happens, or a thing within your chemicals within your body that just flip this switch in you, that you have no self-control.
Yeah, and I have an addictive personality.
So you're more susceptible.
I'm more inclined
even to
doing that.
Yeah.
And the thing with gambling is that you lose control of yourself. You start not looking after yourself. You stop eating. You stop the self-care routine that you may have had. You stop exercising. You stop doing the things that you would normally do that are good for you.
Yeah. So it's like a double.
Yeah, and you really
whammy.
start changing as a person. Yeah, it's a double whammy. It affects you in so many ways. It affects people around you. It can really ruin your life if you let it. And I now know that I've got these patterns of binge gambling. Do I know that I'm never ever going to gamble in my life ever again? The hope is yes.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Is it likely that I'll never gamble again? Again, I hope so. But if I do gamble again, which I shouldn't even be having this conversation, I can tell you with absolute honesty that it's still in my mind. The occasional thought is still there. It's not going to just go overnight.
No.
It's something that's with you for life. And what I have to understand is that, I shouldn't be saying this, but the reality is that if I do gamble, I have to make sure that I'm putting things in place to minimize the damage. If I do.
Yeah.
Having someone with me, setting hard and fast rules, creating a contract. But the truth is, that's all bullshit. Excuse my language. That's bullshit.
That's
really.
just kind of.
That's the addiction talking. Like, still trying to keep me in
denial.
In denial, yeah. The reality is, and if I could give anyone advice, don't ever gamble. Stay out of the casino. Stay away from it. And yeah, the casino might not like me saying this, but they know people are going to do it anyway. That's how strong addiction is. So stay away from it. Talk to people about it. You'll hide it. When you know you're hiding, or you're lying, or you're stealing, or you're doing things you know you shouldn't be doing,
so out of
that's
character.
when it's a problem. And you got to talk about it. No matter what issue it creates, you need to talk to someone about it. Because the first step in recovery is being aware that you have a problem. And there's so many millions of people out there who have an addiction and they don't even know it's a problem. They just justify, like I did. The only difference is I was aware of it, but I still did it. That's probably even worse. Because you know it's a problem and you're still doing it.
Yeah, but I still think, to give credit to yourself, there's that element, like I said, of the biology and the makeup of yourself that is more susceptible. So this is what, led me on to the future now of saying, like, not only in a way now you're advocating against gambling, which is brilliant. So like, it's like someone is an ex-addict and they're advocating for not taking drugs, which I think you're seeing now with the sponsor. He himself is someone that has been through that whole journey, unfortunately, to realize that all I can do now to better my situation is help someone else, because I've took that path already.
And I was speaking to my sponsor last night at between 3 and 4 a.m. UK time, because he's in America. And I knew I was having this meeting with you today, but I knew the importance of having that conversation. And he gave me some great advice, some little assignments to do, because it's a process recovery. And he even suggested to go to his local meeting, which has been on my mind because I've never been to Gamblers Anonymous in Leicester in the UK. And now I'm going to make it. I'm going to make sure I go next Wednesday. And I want to make that. He said, go once a week. He said, you might even meet a sponsor in person. I'll help you anyway.
Yeah.
He's not actually a sponsor. He's mentoring me because he's been through the steps with a sponsor. And I think he wants to get into sponsoring and share his own experience. And it was so helpful speaking to, like I've spoken to people who've lost millions. He was one of them.
Wow.
He told me he was in the middle road. He said to me that the only one thing that was going to stop him gambling was death. That's how into it.
Wow.
He'd been gambling from the age of 8 through to 52. He's been clean for 2 odd years.
His whole
2.5 years.
life.
Whole adult life.
Yeah.
And he told me he'd lost millions. He had some big wins, but he'd lost millions. And that's why gambling's a losing game. And if you want to recover, you need support. I tried to recover alone, which I did quite well.
Yeah.
But it's always there.
Yeah.
It's always there, and you need to take support. And sometimes relapse is a part of recovery. I've relapsed multiple times.
Yeah.
So this whole year was a relapse. And even then, I'll tell you what happened. When I was gambling again, I had some wins, but I felt like a hypocrite going to Gamblers Anonymous. In reality, you should still go.
Yes.
Because
you're facing up to it in
exactly.
a way. Yeah,
the more you're hiding it, the worse it's getting.
Nice.
And very often, people develop an addiction because they're lonely, they're alone, they're isolating. Very often, not always, very often, a person will do bad behaviors and addictive behaviors when they're in the dark, when they're alone, when they isolate.
Which to me kind of makes sense, because that's why there's no one there, that you said it before at the table, to shake you, to say, what is going on, Vishal? What
because I wish I did. I wish in that moment someone snapped me out of that trance and say, Vish, you got the miracle. You got what you needed. What's the plan now? What would you like to do? And how are you likely to feel if you lost all this money? What's likely to happen? Just someone to snap me out of that in that moment. Even though those people, they were trying in a gentle way, just by showing me little signs, and their staff, but it wasn't enough to shake me out of it.
Wow.
I was too deep in the trance.
So just give me a final kind of point now to say, you've said about a bit of the recovery there, and you might not be able to do this on the spot, but I'm just saying, okay, let's say, and we spoke about the t-shirt, just never gamble again. What is the best case scenario now for you, like going forward with the support? Give me a visualization, because I think manifestation is really important, like to say, what can you visualize your best case scenario? Is that you never walk into a casino again?
My best case scenario is that I never gamble ever again.
Wow.
Because what I've done in the last 6 months is I've lost £80,000 of my own money. Not in the last 6 months, that's not true. In the last 2 to 3 months, I've lost that.
Wow.
That's my own money, yes? Now, if you calculate the winnings that I've lost, we're talking 80,000 of my own money, probably another 70 to 80,000. That's £150,000 in the last 3 months.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money,
most people will never have that in their life. And the other thing is that if I calculate my own money, forget the winnings that I've lost. If I calculate how much of my own money in the last 18 years that I've lost, it's somewhere in the region of about 120 to 150,000. That's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Okay, I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't vape. I don't do any illegal substances. Maybe in those 18 years, someone might have spent 100, 150,000, 200,000 pounds on those vices. I've done mine on gambling. Doesn't make me any better. Because if I look at how much with the amount I've won and the amount that I've lost and the amounts I've won and lost, it's over £200,000.
Wow.
120 to 150,000 pounds of my own money, 70, 80,000 pounds of winnings given back, and then all the small amounts, it's hundreds of thousands of pounds. And if I never had gambled ever, I would have had that extra 120 to 150,000 pounds in my pocket, in my bank, in investments.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that as hard as it is, as difficult as it is, as painful as it is, this is a big turning point in my life. And you know, I know, you watching know that I have a pattern of binge gambling now.
Yeah.
If I carry on, I could potentially lose everything I have.
Yeah. There's so much evidence out there
The
of
deeper
people.
you get into the hole, the more you want to chase.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot to lose, and I don't want to lose because I came from nothing and worked hard to build up that life.
Yeah. You know, on that note, and I'm just going to relate it to the channel a sec, I would love to revisit this story. And just, I'm not saying you have to, you'll either see it or you won't, and it's up to Vish, obviously, it's his personal situation. But if he's able to overcome this, to tell us his recovery journey, his I'll just call it sobriety, even though it's not a drug.
Yeah, no, it is.
To say, like, if you can revisit this in, say, 6 months or a year's time and say that you've actually achieved what you wanted to achieve through your support and your sponsors, that how helpful that would be to someone else going through that thinks they're actually kind of give themselves up to doing it the rest of their life. Because there's people that are smokers, drinkers, that kind of, again, ignore it and don't acknowledge it just to say, oh, it's what I do. I'm just living for today. But it's like, yeah, but what would you have done if you wasn't drinking every weekend or every evening? Like you said, it's what it's taking you away from. So what I'd love is in revisiting, I know if you stick to what your aim is, it's what you're going to be doing in your life. On the opposite side of the positive habits that you've developed to counter this situation. So yeah, like I say, Major, I really appreciate you being open and honest. And I hope you've got the takeaways for me is that when you notice yourself out of character doing things that you would not normally do, that is a major warning sign. When you're making these kind of premeditated plans in your mind that you know you're going to go back to the place or the thing that you shouldn't be, that is a major warning sign. And therefore you've said here, a support network of family, friends, professionals that can get you through that.
There's a few other things that I really think we should touch on. My mental health has been a big thing in my gambling. And they say that gambling and addiction is a mental health issue.
Yeah.
My last episode, as you know, I've had 6 of them throughout my life, and some of them very severe, being hospitalized. And again, if people want to hear about the mental health and the anxiety, depression, insomnia, psychosis, different kinds of labels that are put on mental health, I've experienced a lot of that. And this last episode has been the one that's taken me the longest to recover from. And I'm still recovering from that. My drive has not been the same. I'm not in a crisis, but I've noticed that I've not been as focused on my businesses. They're still doing quite well, but I know they could do even better if I was on top of my game.
Yeah.
And what I think has happened at times is, as well as chasing the highs, chasing the losses, chasing that euphoric feeling, chasing that high, that dopamine hit, that chemicals that are released that make you feel good. I think as a man, knowing I could earn more money is always something that I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I've realized that at times when I was alone and that feeling of wanting to gamble came about, I would think that gambling is a way to make money, even though I know it's not.
Yeah.
And so because I wasn't as driven, I thought this is easy to go and make money gambling.
Of course, yeah.
But it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And that's how difficult this has been for me, because my mental health has also contributed to me wanting to gamble.
Yeah, so one last point to make is, like, could you give some steps for people to help themselves in this situation or a similar situation to yourself? Things that they can do.
There's a part of me that feels a bit like a hypocrite. But then the other side of me that is compassionate and merciful and gentler and kinder to myself reminds me that recovery involves relapse. And it's not going to be a journey where it's going to be all that way. There's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be tough. There's going to be times where you feel better. But as long as you, and this is a common thing in recovery, as long as you don't bet today, as long as you don't gamble today, as long as you don't drink alcohol today, as long as you don't smoke that cigarette today, as long as you don't do that particular addiction today, just for today.
Yes.
Maybe the next hour, maybe the next few minutes.
Yes.
It's a starting point. So here's some steps I would say. Number one, be aware that you actually have a problem. You know you got a problem. Number two, ask yourself, are you willing to do something about overcoming this problem? Number three, find some support. Speak to your doctor, go online, do some research, ask AI, it can be good for that. What can I do to help overcome this addiction? Give me some very, very basic, simple steps that are not overwhelming that I can do today, starting now. Find those support groups. Gamblers Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous. There's so many organizations out there. There's other fellowships, not just Gamblers Anonymous. There's other ones, like there's the Road to Recovery Online, and there's all kinds of associations that help with addictions. Find them and become a member. Very often they're free. You don't have to pay for them. And of course you can donate if you want, but they don't ask you for any money because they want to help. So join one of these support groups. It's new to me, but getting a sponsor, I know in life, you have an accountability partner, someone told you accountable, you're less likely to do that bad thing because you know you're going to have to tell them. Of course you can lie, but there's a chance that you're more likely to be open and it will prevent you relapsing. So get a sponsor, get someone to hold you accountable. Number 6 is start connecting with people who are not associated to that particular addiction.
Get yourself out
Minimize
of that
the time with those people. Tell those people that this is the reason why I'm doing it. Number 7, put some stops in place, some security measures, some things to reduce, minimize, or stop doing that addiction. Because it might be that you can't do it in one go. You can't go cold turkey. You can't just stop. For some people, they have to. Might have to go rehab, whatever. But at least if you can start to slowly reduce and do all these other steps, that's at least a starting point. So that's something. So doing those 7 steps, of course, you can go back and watch those 7 steps again. There are a few things I would recommend for someone to start with that I have been doing and have started doing. So it's tough. It's tough. It's a really tough journey. But I'm glad I'm on the road to recovery. And
me too.
Hopefully being open about this can help at least one person. If we help at least one person, we've done a good job. And that's why I'm willing to be so open and vulnerable about it. And I hope people will share this video as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, all I'd like to say, Vish, on a final note is like, thank you for your openness. Thank you for your honesty. Like I say, this is like about your character. This is deep things that you only speak to like family and friends. But what I love with this platform, or don't, to keep so hidden, that what I love with the openness, and again, you said using AI as a tool, using social media as a tool.
Because sometimes speaking to a stranger can be more helpful.
And they're less invested in what you're doing,
less judgment,
just to say that I think people are going to get so much from it, and that in you doing this, I hope that you get a lot from it, because a lot of the things with this channel that I've spoke about people's difficulties, it's not that I just want to hear the sensationalized story. I want to hear the honest truth, the honest solution, because even if it is hard to hear, it's reality. It's the reality of a situation. This addiction has took you to some really good highs, which is great. Everyone loves feeling great, but it's took you on some really bad lows, and it's took you away from maybe other things that you could be doing, more productive, more healthy things in your life. So like I say, we're definitely going to revisit. We're definitely going to speak about the mental health. But yeah, appreciate that, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, yeah. All right, and I'll see you next time, guys, on Welcome to the Human Experience.